Richard here, 3v3, Boranis Refinery, blue team. It's SWAT 858 plays a warp spotter Exarch teleporting commander that fights range combat very good at capping and harassing early on with lots of great crowd control and general annoying stuff later. Alongside, baxter456 is an Eldar Warlock melee commander with great disruption and mobility and also tank damage with the right war gear. This is all 3 DLC. And rounding out the blue team is deltakyklos as a force commander, fights in melee combat, very good offense, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. Red team, Sneery Thug is an Apothecary support commander that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Alongside him is SuperHooper as a Mekboy teleporting commander that fights range combat, does some good DPS, can also support very well, disrupt, build structures and repair, but is not very tough. And rounding out red team is CreamySurprise, also known as Hive minion, as a big stompy Hive Tyrant, very durable commander that walks through cover and cannot be suppressed, good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Double Termagant opening, Banshees in amongst Hormagaunts there, walks Rexarch, teleports in to tie up a Termagant brood, and that's a pretty close fight, but the Banshees will take it now that the Termagants were tied up, and the Hormagaunts might not get away there. In fact, they do not. An opening squad loss for CreamySurprise, not a disaster, but yeah, SWAT's Banshees with a bunch of XP, almost half a level there. Sluggers fighting a Warlock who gets a sync kill, 482, 490. Some Daka from double shooters from SuperHooper. Here comes the Mekboy as well. Starts with that shooter of his. 475, 490, 2-1 for red. They have the mid. There's a war banner, as you can see. The Mekboy can build them, and Sluggers for the Orks can also build them. And double Dire Avengers are forced to retreat. Baxter and SWAT both going for guardian weapon teams. Sneery Thug has some tactical marines which are idle, and deltakyklos with a double scout opening into nothing else. Very odd. CreamySurprise replacing his Hormagaunt brood and now is going after this warp spotter Exarch. 456, 490 does have a pretty good special attack, the warp spotter Exarch, which a lot of people don't like, the fact that he has one. And he goes down in retreat there. Banshee's now in amongst a big blob of stuff, and there is the seismic roar from the rending talons, which really can do a number on Banshees, especially if you don't know that he has it. But now SWAT should with that Iron Halo and Artificer is very tanky in tier 1. Takes him up to 10-20 hit points with that shield also. Hive Tyrant levels to 2, and he does have the extended carapace after all. Once you get to level 2 you can use the charge and seismic roar one after the other, which is nice. And there is the seismic roar on the Dire Avengers who are trying to throw a grenade. Couldn't quite hit it how he wanted to. 360, 361. Here come Ravener Brood. Have some pretty nice piercing damage with those Devourers. Hive Tyrant needs to be incredibly careful here. Banshee's chasing him down. And he's going to have to retreat. Oh, what is this? That was a very strange retreat, but they are knocked over by the Raveners, and he does get away just about. Yes, 360, 330. That's a double for blue. Slugger's taking red team's natural back, so it's going to be a 2-1. And players starting to drip into tier 2. SWAT is already there. Baxter and CreamySurprise go at pretty much the same time. Assault Marines jumping in. Are we going to start seeing some artillery pieces, plasma cannons up maybe in tier 2? Sneery Thug is floating like crazy here. Needs to go tier 2, needs to tech up. Immolator on the blob of shooters, but they just move away, don't lose the model. Damage evenly spread, of course. Warlock does get away. He has the Champion's Robe as well, level 2. Force Commander wants to tie up these tactical Marines. They don't have a flamer though. I thought he was going for a power harass there. 360, 297. Double shooters now supporting the west side. Hive Tyrant in trouble again, and this time he does not get away. Banshee's doing quite well in this game. They've soaked up a lot of damage and they've killed stuff. Hormagaunts wiped there by the Banshees, almost level 2 now, these ladies. They have the aspect of fleetness, so their Exarch will get those double power swords. 354, 297. Ravener Brood forcing off the Dire Avengers. Some melee combat. Orks still loitering around the west at the mouth of this opening, shooting up Dire Avengers here. These guys moving in, I think, for a grenade. 344, 297. SuperHooper recognizes the threat, and Assault Marines coming in from the flank also, and retreats out. Force Commander now capping mid with the Iron Halo up. He's almost halfway to level 2. CreamySurprise, I don't think he's budged from this edge, nor has SWAT. They've really been fighting over this power, and it's important not to get sidetracked by it. If you're not pressuring this VP and there's no gens up on this, it's usually better to support the middle as this player or as this player. 339, 292. Enemy can sometimes become too entrenched. He has triple shurikens over here, one of them from Baxter, so you're not going to pressure the VP, so it's better to just sweep in and support mid. Make sure your power doesn't get hit, of course. Zone Throat is up for CreamySurprise, and here comes a Capillary Tower Infestation Tower in tier 2. There's the charge where he runs into yet another shuriken and Howling Banshees, and the Hive Tyrant goes down. 339, 273. So much pressure here on CreamySurprise. Good play from Baxter. He's splitting his forces and trying to support everywhere that he can, which is what the mid player needs to do on this map. 339, 265. Assault Marines versus Assault Marines. Looks like some stun bombs were thrown in. Stick bombers up for SuperHooper Dreadnought on the way for Sneery Thug. This could change the landscape quite significantly. And Falcon up for SWAT. CreamySurprise under some serious pressure. Needs some AV now, alongside the Zone Throat stun, or snare rather. Raveners, yeah, they were just a big mistake, I think, with the Banshees there. 339, 248. He's seriously locked in here. He needs some support. SuperHooper needs to go over there. Focused on mid, which I suppose is fine. He needs that VP up. CreamySurprise needs to not push, because he can't push through this, so don't push. Wait for him help. Skirt around the edges, try and get some damage, try and get some models, but don't lose the stuff, especially that Zone Throat. He does have double Cryptic Poison to protect it from Banshees, but that Warlock is now around, as you saw, dropped by SWAT, and she can jump on it and start smacking it with that power sword. Sluggers with their Nobby. They don't have burners yet. Here comes the Apothecary. He's going to try and revive the Hive Tyrant. He can revive him with his heal, in fact, but won't get the XP for it. But Banshees are chasing him down here, and they've knocked him over with a special, and he's going to die. These Banshees doing incredibly well. No, he doesn't. Uses his heal with Purification Rats and gets away. Nicely done. Sneery Thug. Down goes the Falcon. What was that? It was the Beamy Death Gun from the mech, and that thing does incredible amounts of damage to vehicles. It's not easy to spot as well, which I think is what happened there. SWAT didn't move his Falcon, from what I saw. Warlock. What happened to the Warlock? Did he die or did he Skyleap her? I'm not sure. Dreadnought is up with an assault cannon. Whoa, big plasma cannon shot from deltakyklos. Killed a couple of attacks, I think. And hit those assault marines. There's another shot that killed an assault marine. Power Fist Force Commander is there as well. Sneery Thug needs to back the heck off here. These assault marines are dropping, and he does jump them out. The Dreadnought should be fine. Very difficult to hit flesh over steel on a moving Dreadnought. His assault marines getting back into combat there, but they do get away. But there's a melter. Now it changes. Can he save his Dreadnought? Being chased down by a Power Fist. Sniper's taken out an assault marine, and they do retreat. Now it's just a Power Fist versus he's used full auto on the assault marines. Maybe that was a misclick, meant to take down the shield and then disrupt the force commander with it, but it might be a dead Dreadnought here. Is it going to be okay? Yes, it is. Gets close enough to base to force off the force commander. 308215. Mekboy levels to 4 and backs away. Avatar of Cain on the way for Baxter. SWAT goes tier 3, as does Delta, SuperHooper, and CreamySurprise, who has a Tyrant Guard. And I love these things. 2,500 hit points of super heavy infantry armor, beastly amount of DPS, and they are not that slow when under synapse, as you can see here. Have a charge and a self heal, also really good value at 400 rec, 55 power. If you can get 2 of them out, you can pretty much cruise tier 2 with that, especially against certain fields. I don't see SWAT getting Dark Creepers out to put pressure on this Tyrant Guard from range. You could switch one of these guarding weapon teams to your right lance, of course. Warlock is dropped in. A bunch of Termagant Brood models die, but they then retreat out. There's the leap going off of the zone trophy sheet. 308187. Banshees are there in retreat path. This could be very nasty. Can they turn and take it out? What is he doing? Doesn't attack it. Big mistake from SWAT. That was a huge mistake. Obviously, he's watching elsewhere here. It's a 1-to-1. 308187. Sneery Thug with some plasma gun tactical marines. 26 DPS plasma damage from that thing, which is pretty nasty, especially when combined with Krakenbolt's ability. Warlock taken down the Hive Tyrant there. She got a big chunk of XP for that, as you can see. Avatar Cain on the field. Oh, she's skyleaping up there. 308177. SWAT will now be able to recall her down for a reduced cost. Super unit for Eldar right here has the passive area of effect buff, which does affect your allies. You see that blue circle type thing below those marines and those scouts. I believe it gives suppression immunity and also some other defensive buffs. 308162. D cannon is caught here. Is it stuck? Nope, it's moving. He's going to keep it in play, I think. Assault Marines backed off, but they do survive with 3 models. Plasma cannon shot on retreat, which does knock down retreating units. As you can see there, D cannon getting shots as well. Avatar. What was that? Oh, we have blasters up on flash kits. Really awesome area of effect weapon. Does psychic DPS, as you can see there, which means it barely touches vehicles. 308139, sorry, and it does do a lot of damage to super and heavy infantry. So it will be useful versus the Avatar if they can hit it. Dreadnought, just a smidgen of XP. Looter's coming into mid, and he has some stick bombers still. SuperHooper. Carnifex on the way for CreamySurprise. Predator tank on the way for Delta, and a fire prism for SWAT. D cannon already up for Baxter. There's a bright lance as well there, as you can see. Does he have line of sight for the D cannon? He does. Misses. There's a singularity. 308115. Bright lance now DPSing down the dreadnought. There's the singularity. Is very nasty, especially if you can stack up a couple of them. There's a barrage from the dreadnought. Plasma cannon getting shots. Avatar taking damage from a Tyrant guard here. 308103. Mekboy in retreat. Was that a ton of formation? I believe it was. Boom! Big hit on those scouts. And not a whole lot else. The shuriken was disrupted. Avatar taking a lot of damage here. Tyrant guard, the Hive Tyrant I should say, still has rendered pylons. Look at this, fire dragons up for Baxter. Quick moving, melter infantry, does rapid firing, fusion guns. Boom. Assault Marines jumping, no, he might lose the squad. I think if he is in fact going to lose the squad. Carnifex is there also. It's the Thornback Carnifex, which just spat out some rippers, and it's incredibly good walker. 1875 hit points at level 1, that thing can level. Predator tank with Twin Las Cannon. Avatar of Cain does get away. 30869. Can the blue team hold on and take this game? Not quite yet, they can't. Red team are retaking mid. That Las Cannon Predator will help greatly versus the Carnifex. Need to keep it the heck away from it though. Shuriken, is it stuck here? It retreats and does get away, it's okay. Nob squad on the field for SuperHooper going after the Warp Squad Exarch, who has his power blades, a heavy melee weapon. Can be incredibly annoying. He teleports into rear armor and starts smacking on stuff. 30864. Frenzy up for the Nob squad, giving them suppression and damage immunity for a few seconds. Costs 75 red though, and as a 60-second cooldown, they are in retreat now. Warp Squad Exarch goes down. Here's the Fire Prism, which is going to take, ouch, a big rear armor hit from the Carnifex, and another, I think. Or was that a front armor hit? Anyway, it goes down. Amazing push by Red. Blue team falling apart. Well, SWAT is, in a way. He got doubled hard there. He didn't react quickly enough. Could have just retreated all of this stuff out. 30857. What's going on here? Baxter's forgotten about his double Dire Avengers. Really has forgotten. He's going to lose him. He's going to completely lose him. What was he looking at? I have no idea. None of the rest of his stuff is doing anything. 30757. Fire Dragons backing away. Is that... There must be a new Fire Dragon squad, right? The other one did not get away. Warlock almost dies, almost finishes the cap as well. 30757. It's a no cap game. Stick bombers wiped. These Banshees have killed a lot of stuff, level 3. That Tyrant guard still stomping around. Has he leveled his level 2? 2750 hit points now. Still a no cap game. There's the fusion guns doing a number on the Carnifex, which just ate something. Here comes a Fire Prism now. Has a disperse shot to disrupt infantry and a focused blast for large targets. And misfires. Here's the Avatar now healed up, back on the field. Everyone tier 3. Sneery Thug lost his dreadnought at some point. Tyrant Guard and Thornback Carnifex going after the Avatar now. Tyrant Guard does a special attack, which is not going to help him against an Avatar. Up goes the Infestation Tower, which will give a speed buff and sight radius buff, which greatly helps out the Tyrant Guard. You can give it that speed buff without Synapse being around. Now gone into shield wall. What might go down here? Fire Prism getting hits, as is the Avatar. Another Carnifex stomping around, and it's another Thornback. Look at these charges. Carnifexes are badass in Thornback mode. 274, 57, 2-1 for Red. They're doing very well now. Not sure how they're going to deal with double Carnifexes alongside a Nob squad over there. Nob squads are back here at the moment. Huge hammers, and they have their Nob leader and Mina and Greener, and they're going to get a triple cap, Red team. Avatar against 2 Carnifexes, which is not a very good fight for it. 254, 57. Fire Prism is backing it up though. Termagants used in melee to force off the Fire Dragons. 238, 57. Triple cap for red. Can blue team swing this around? What is SWAT doing? He's got to purchase something. Is he saving for an avatar of his own? That would be a mistake, I think. 221, 57. Get some Warp Spiders on the field so he can haywire grenade those Carnifexes. Back it up with a Bright Lance maybe. Force Commander level 5 for Delta. Apothecary with the Anointed Power Axe now. Also has Armor of Purity and Purification Rites. Knocks back the Force Commander with his Purification Rites. Draining energy with each hit there. Force Commander doing so much damage though with that Power Fist, and the jump from the Vanguard Veterans helps the Apothecary take him down. 17857, Nob Squad in retreat. Banshee's chasing them. Not the squad you want chasing you. Seismic Roar, late game from Hive Tyrant, still does its job. Disruption and damaging those Banshees, but they do get away again. Vanguard Veterans jumping in. There's Angels of Death. Lightning Claw Terminators are up though from Delta. They will tear apart those Vanguard Veterans, but there's so much stuff there. They are just getting demolished. Those blasters doing tons of damage to them. He's going to lose his Terminators, I think. Could they teleport in there? Yep, they're going to go down. Down they go. That was painful. 153.57. Fire Dragons are there. Big Plasma Cannon shot from way back here. And Vanguard Veterans run. 147.57. 2-1 for red. Sitting pretty right now. Don't think blue team are going to come back. SWAT's going for an avatar, so you can have double avatars. Not sure that's going to be enough. They could do some nice double Wailing Doom stuff, but there's a lot of things to hurt them. The Looters, double Carnifexes, Zone Throat Snare, these blasters. That Predator tank, which is now in trouble. Rear armor hit, maybe? No. Eldritch Storm on a Brood Nest. What the heck? Obviously going for the Predator tank, I think, but that was very strangely placed. 124.57. Yeah, Baxter. Not the best nuke, mate. Carnifex killing stuff. Eating on Eldar. Banshees in retreat, and they get away again. The grenade, but red team looking very strong. 113.57. Seer Council for Baxter might help versus the Nob Squad with the disruption and then that power melee damage, but these double Carnifexes have really changed this game. Rear armor hit on the Fire Prism and another one, and it lives. No, it doesn't. 103.57. Avatar. Wailing Doom on the Orky stuff. Nob Squad just shake it off. And there's a phase shift from the Warps for Exarch. What does he have to back this up? He doesn't have enough for a nuke. So it's basically pointless. Just stop them capping, I think. Here's the Wrath of Cain. Knockback damage and suppression on the Nob Squad. There's a big knockback as well from that. Here come Banshees taking down a model. Are they level 4? They must be. Almost level 4. Nob Squad now caught in retreat by the Howling Banshees, and now they level to 4. Level 4 Banshees are scary, but the Carnifex will deal with them nicely. And there's 2 of them here. 81.57. Double cap for red. Surely they have this. It's been a nice comeback. CreamySurprise under so much pressure early on. But he came back strong with double Carnifexes. That Tyrant Guard also helping out greatly. SWAT, I think, with some poor choices. Didn't get Dark Reapers or Fire Dragons or Book Spiders to help against the Tyrant Guard with the Haywire Grenade or General DPS. 40.57. Center is all red. Here comes Seer Council getting jumped on. And they get absolutely demolished here. They do get away though. Blue team just falling apart mid-game. Couldn't keep the pressure up. Didn't hit power either, did they? When you've got pressure on Calderis or Boranis or Balderas, whatever, you need to go hit power, you need to pressure it. 657, all of that pressure on CreamySurprise, and they didn't turn and hit the power, which I saw. They might have done it, but I didn't see them. But there you have it, guys. 57 VPs left on red team. Let's look at the commanders. Level 4, Warps with Exarch was down. Warlock was also down. Level 5. What's he doing up here? deltakyklos actually had a Terminator Force commander at the end. Sneery Thugs, Apothecary level 6, did quite well. SuperHooper's Mekboy level 6 with that custom force field, which is very annoying. And CreamySurprise's Hive Tyrant, which died a bunch of times, is down at the end at level 6. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.